Hey, what's up guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. So I want to do a first impressions video for you guys today on a new saw for me, which it's not a new saw on the market, obviously. Lots and lots of people have this, but for me it's a new saw. I got it for my birthday, the Pocket Boy by Silky. So this is the 170 size, and I chose that because I just felt like it would process the amount of wood that I would need with the medium sized teeth as opposed to like the large teeth. So it's got the black handle on it. Depending on what size you get in the teeth will determine like fine teeth and or large teeth and what color the handle will be. So the medium size with the 170 teeth on it is going to give you the black handle, and so far in what I've cut with it, I'm really impressed. Now I did have to remind myself before I started using it that this only cuts on the pull stroke, so trying to not do too much hard work with it and just let the saw do the work. But so far I'm really liking it, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut and process a bunch more wood just to get a better idea of what I like about it. So far, one of the first things that I noticed that is a little worrisome, but maybe it doesn't matter at all, and I'll find that through more use, is how like flimsy the blade is. So there's a lot of like flex in the blade. That may or may not be an issue, but I do love that it kicks back onto that angle as well. So if I'm cutting on the ground, I'm not gonna rip up my knuckles. So that's a good thing that I am pretty psyched about this. So let's go ahead and process some wood and just get an idea of what I like about this in my first impressions and what I might not like about it. So here we go. Okay, so I've got this log here, and it's about maybe 3 inches in diameter, so not huge, but something that would take a little ways to burn in a fire overnight. So it's a good piece that I would want to process, and we're gonna see how it goes. I'm noticing, at least just in my first few times using it, that getting it started is a little difficult, but it's kind of impressive how like butter smooth it is. I wish the strokes were a little bit longer. So I know that there's other saws that are out there that would give you a longer blade and longer pull strokes. Because the other saw that I considered getting before I got this was the Sven saw, which I would get like the 15-inch. But again, maybe that wouldn't be, but the buck saw idea is something that I'd be really interested in. So I love how clean and beautiful that cut is. So this is a piece of aspen. It's nice and dry, but yeah, really nice clean cut. I like the handle on it a lot. And I'm noticing like when I do put the force on the pull stroke that I'm getting really good cuts. I mean, it's not rocket science here, people, but I'm really psyched about this. I could definitely see if I was processing a lot of wood for several days in one place that I would get pretty tired, because the stroke on this is such a short pull stroke. But for a nice lightweight, fairly lightweight, given the consideration that you're carrying a saw with you in the backcountry, I'm pretty happy with it so far. All right, so far, very happy with the saw. Like really happy with it, because it's just cutting so smooth, so easy. Just, it's awesome. So yeah, first impressions so far really good. But that's at least going through like smaller stuff. This is a down tree. Don't worry, I haven't cut something to like then cut something bigger. It's down. So I'm gonna try to do something a little bit bigger just to see how this blade handles this big of a tree. This isn't something that I would normally like ever really cut. This is simply just to test and see how well this blade does, because it's really not that long. It's as long as my hand. So I just want to see how it performs, really. This is a fairly fresh downfall, so it's going to be kind of soft. So I get that. Aspen's not the hardest wood, but this is honestly impressive for how big of a tree this is. I mean, that's all the way through. I mean, we're not quite to the middle of the stump yet, but not a lot of space for this blade to cut. Something that I'm noticing about the saw is it's fairly comfortable in the hand. It's not the most comfortable with it being so small. It's hard. This motion's a little bit weird. If I was being able to, like with a buck saw, to be able to pull back and forth this way, I don't know, I might get stronger pulls. But again, a small little tiny saw like this, take backpacking to process wood. Okay, now it's getting difficult. I'm definitely maxing out what this saw is capable of. All right. Well, there you go. It's good, what, 5-inch diameter? So, length of the blade, but guys, I'm impressed. I'm honestly really impressed with how well this thing is just going through like butter. Granted, it's a brand new saw. This is my first time using it, but yeah, I'm psyched. Really, really happy with it. Takes a little bit more work to get through something because the teeth aren't super big, but I didn't want to have to like really work hard to get something started. I mean, it just starts going pretty simple as long as you put the force on the backstroke and not try to push on the forward stroke. Just really cuts on that backstroke. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Everything that I've cut so far, I've just had on that like first notch or the first open spot for it. So I'm gonna open it up to this just to see the difference in how well it cuts. I'm expecting it to be the exact same, to be totally honest. At least on the ground like this, to be able to cut straight down. I don't know, I feel like I can't get as much like force on the pull stroke, but I mean, still really, really cool. Really cool, guys. That is incredibly impressive. Like, I spent a lot of time trying to decide what saw I wanted to get. I've got people that I know that have the Gone Boy, and then people that have the Pocket Boy. And the information that I got when I asked about what wood processing tools I should buy, I did a video on that a little while ago and got a lot of people that just sent me information about the Pocket Boy as a good universal type backpacking saw. And so far, just in the, I don't know, half hour or so that I've been cutting a bunch of different pieces of wood with it, I'm impressed, really impressed. So I'm psyched that I got this over the Sven saw because of its size and the fact that most of the time I'm not going to process wood that is bigger in diameter than this. I might baton this to be a little bit smaller, especially if I'm going to do like a Swedish fire torch in my firebox stove. Then I only need something of this diameter to be able to get it into quarters. So there you go, guys. The Pocket Boy by Silky. Really, really, really cool. Just so impressed with it. Very excited to use this from now on. and just make it part of my backpacking system when I'm not trying to go super ultralight and I want to process wood fairly quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep cutting some wood, but thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hope you have an awesome day. Oh.